It is with the heaviest heart and the deepest sadness imaginable that I have to confirm some devastating news today. A loss I truly hoped I would never have to announce. Jorge Messi, the father of the greatest player to ever touch a football, Lionel Messi, has passed away. And honestly, football completely takes a back seat today, guys. People are already asking me if he is going to play or not. Honestly, that does not matter to me at all. That is the last thing on the mind of Lionel Messi and his entire family right now. We will deal with those match details later. Today I want to focus on what truly matters. I want us to come together and send our deepest, most respectful condolences and support to them during this painful time. They really need all the strength we can offer right now. This is an incredibly brutal moment, not just for Leo himself, but for his entire family and loved ones. Because when we look past the global superstar, we are talking about a son losing his father. Jorge was easily one of the most vital figures in his entire life. And let me tell you something, my friends. He was without a doubt his biggest supporter, the one man who stood by him when absolutely nobody in the world knew the name Lionel Messi. He was his greatest fan, the one always recording him, always standing right by his side. He supported him through those incredibly dark days when the two of them had to leave their family behind to chase a dream in Barcelona. They went after a wild dream that eventually turned Leo into a one-of-a-kind football legend. Knowing all of that just makes this sudden loss so much more heartbreaking for all of us. Honestly, I hesitated to make this video. I was not sure I should do it, but I felt a real obligation as someone who reports on the game. We have followed every single step of Messi's incredible career together on this journey for so many years now. This is a moment we simply had to share, while once again sending our most respectful thoughts and prayers. Our deepest condolences. Right now, that is truly the only thing we can really offer them, guys. Just sending strength to Messi, his family, and everyone mourning. Yes, the news has been fully confirmed now. The rumors broke earlier this morning, but we waited because only one outlet was reporting it at first. I wanted to be absolutely sure. Spreading rumors would be highly disrespectful, so we waited for official confirmations to start rolling in from much more reputable and serious outlets, even professional clubs. And now we find ourselves having to break this tragic news. To be honest, I am still in complete shock over this. Just look here. Here is a touching image of Leo Messi standing proudly alongside his two parents, Celia and Jorge Messi. Tragically, Jorge has passed away today at the age of 68. And honestly, my friends, there is not much else for me to say other than sharing this difficult news with you. He was born back in 1958, and as I mentioned earlier, highly respected and professional sports outlets have now fully confirmed that he has indeed passed away. It happened in 2026, reportedly in the early hours of August 8th. May Jorge Messi rest in peace. Of course, and I really hope you can understand what I am trying to say. I want to explain this properly, my friends, even though it might sound a bit strange or even trivial at a time like this. I do not mean positive in a happy way, obviously. I mean it in the sense of finding some comfort and love amidst all of this grief. Because at the end of the day, as I have shared with you all many times before on here, the absolute only guarantee we actually have in this fragile life, guys, is our own mortality. It is a harsh reality. Let me bring myself full screen so we can talk directly. Both you and I, every single one of our precious family members, our closest friends, and everyone we know, we are all going to leave this world behind one day, departing this physical plane, whatever you want to call it. And that is exactly why we must cherish life, guys. This is a reminder to value every single second we have with the people we care about, to appreciate them, to check in, or just send a quick text. Give a warm hug, hold them tight, and build memories. Because in the end, as I always say to you guys, we might eventually leave this physical world behind because none of us are immortal. Our physical bodies will fade away since we are not infinite, but we can still remain present in other ways. The loved ones who are no longer with us in person will continue to live on forever, kept alive right here in our daily thoughts and cherished memories, through the valuable life lessons they passed down and in those quiet moments. Both the tough challenges we faced and the funny moments we shared will keep them locked safely in our hearts forever. They live on in the legacy of those we love. Time will pass, and eventually, that is how it goes for all of us. But in those moments, we live forever. That is something we really need to highlight, guys. It is something deep that I just had to share with you. I also want to truly thank everyone who has been following us on this long journey, and we also need to stand right beside our idol during this incredibly painful time, especially after all those countless moments of pure magic he has given us over the years, all that beautiful joy. Truly, it is our time to support him now, sending him our absolute best thoughts and most sincere wishes. Because honestly, this is incredibly heavy news. It is the kind of loss that I know so many of you have already experienced firsthand, though fortunately I have not had to face it yet, but as I always say, we all know we will have to go through it eventually. And if I do not, well, that just means I went first. You know how it is? So many things can happen in this life, guys. But I genuinely thank all of you for being here with me. Again, with the deepest respect, please keep the comment section clean and respectful as we send him our love, and we will leave it at that. There is not much else to say. Obviously, we will be blocking and silencing any idiot who decides to leave a stupid, disrespectful comment here today, my friends. But anyway, here is the situation. Like I said, I wanted to wait because the very first outlet to report this was Infobee, but they are not really a serious outlet. Then Newell's published it too, and then CONMEBOL stepped in, and more official statements began flooding in during these last few minutes. The official post from Club Atletico New says they say goodbye with deep sorrow and grief to Jorge Messi, who passed away at 68 years old in Rosario. Okay, so that confirmed it, and after that, even the Sanatorio Centro, which is the clinic where he was being monitored and hospitalized, decided to release their own official statement as well. On August 8, 2026, Sanatorio Centro, through its chief medical director, has the painful duty of announcing the passing of Jorge Messi, which occurred today at 2 a.m. This happened during the early morning hours in Argentina. We stand with his family and loved ones now, offering our most sincere condolences. In compliance with current regulations, which is definitely an important point to highlight, and in accordance with current patient data protection laws, as well as out of deep respect for the privacy of the Messi family, no further details will be shared regarding the medical circumstances of his passing. That is absolutely perfect, guys, because otherwise the wild rumors are going to start. People saying they think it was this or that. It really does not matter right now. If the Messi family decides they want to share details at some point, that is completely up to them, but we should not get dragged into gossip, guys. Pardon me, but I am still actively refreshing my feed because new updates are continuing to stream in. And actually, even the official Argentine Football Association has now stepped forward and confirmed all of this, my friends. Here is the post. In fact, let me quickly refresh this page first, guys. Let me reload this quickly. There are so many videos circulating, and here is the official statement from the Federation. They wrote, "Stay strong, Leo and family. We are standing right beside you in this incredibly painful moment, sending you our warmest embrace." That is exactly what they posted. So, of course, stay strong, Leo Messi. And like I said, in the end, we are losing the man who was truly the absolute biggest supporter of Leo Messi. We really have to emphasize that part, because some people might try to argue against that, claiming the biggest supporter is some random guy in another country with 300,000 jerseys. Sure, that kind of dedication is totally valid, and he is up there, somewhere near the very top. Or maybe it is you, because your entire family has followed his career. And of course, we have all contributed in our own way. You might even point at me and say, "No, it is you, because you started this project to follow him everywhere." And look, obviously I am a massive supporter, but I am definitely not the top one. That title belonged strictly to Jorge Messi, and it will always belong to Jorge Messi. What I mean is that Jorge Messi stood right by his side throughout his entire life. He recorded his matches and knew from the very beginning that Leo Messi possessed an absolutely unmatched talent. And let us not forget that he was also the photographer, the one who captured that historic moment during Leo Messi's very first day over in Barcelona, an event that completely transformed history, not just for Barcelona, not just for soccer, but for the entire world, man. It changed human history itself. That was a truly legendary moment that he captured himself, and he absolutely loved recording everything, which is why we have all those early videos of what was it called? Oh wait, let me adjust this screen. Yes, the footage we have from back then, showing Messi playing soccer as a little kid. Almost every single one of those was filmed by Jorge Messi, and here he is, his absolute biggest fan. This specific photo is, as I keep telling you, completely legendary, my friends, in every single way possible. And in the end, like I said, those two were the ones who faced everything together. Jorge Messi accompanied young Leo on that incredibly difficult journey. It was a massive sacrifice because they had to leave their entire family behind in Argentina. We all know just how painful that kind of separation is. Leo was literally just a young boy back then, and Jorge had to leave his other children and his beloved wife behind. He left his friends and his whole life, risking everything to chase a dream that seemed completely impossible at the time. People close to them shared stories that young Leo would lock himself in his room just to cry. It was incredibly tough because he was desperately homesick, missing his home. You do not just miss your family, you miss your daily routines, your old streets, and your culture. Every single familiar corner. But Jorge stood by him and they kept pushing forward, ultimately rewriting football history. They changed the game in every single way imaginable. At the end of the day, we really need to focus on the positive side of this journey. I know this might sound a bit complicated, and maybe it seems like I am rambling here, guys. But my point is, we must highlight the good because that is what truly lasts. We will all leave this physical world eventually, but the legacy we build remains. We will always be present in spirit, and we will absolutely continue to live on. Our spirit lives on in the hearts and minds of the people who love us, those we shared our lives with, leaving behind valuable lessons, whether good or bad. So there you have it, guys. That is the reality. Let us look at Leo Messi's own words about the incredible sacrifices his father made just so his son could play professional football at the highest level. Pay close attention to this quick clip, my friends. Let us take a look. He would wake up at 4 in the morning and not get back until 9 at night just to eat dinner practically every single day. We barely saw each other, but when we did, he just wanted to enjoy my company, never lecturing me. I cherished every moment with him because I missed him so much, waiting by the door just to hug him and be near him. That is why I say our bond was different. His entire life was consumed by hard labor. It was a massive struggle completely separate from anything happening on the pitch. Those early days in Barcelona were incredibly difficult and painful. Family is always the absolute priority, the most important thing. I love football, I literally live for this game, but my family will always come first. There we have it. Those are incredibly beautiful words. And as I mentioned, Messi himself later confirmed how deep those sacrifices ran. He admitted during the World Cup that there were personal, off-the-field, issues weighing heavily on him. We truly have to appreciate what Leo Messi managed to accomplish during this World Cup, playing with absolutely zero outside pressure or obligations weighing on his shoulders. He had already won the World Cup back in 2022, yet he still went out there and performed. Statistically speaking, it was arguably the greatest World Cup of his career, all at 39 years old, with everyone watching him. It is absolutely insane. He proved he is the best in the world, yet there were still so many critics out there. I hope you all remember this forever. There was a massive group of people who desperately wanted to tear Messi down and destroy his reputation. Why did they do that? Because they could not touch his performance on the pitch, so they targeted his personal life. They made up stories about referee bias and favoritism. Honestly, it was a bunch of bitter, miserable critics making things as up. The sheer disrespect they threw at Messi makes no sense. Throughout that toxic anti-Messi campaign, even while he was playing some of his absolute best football, we completely forgot that underneath the hype is a human being. He might play like an alien, but he still bleeds. Even though we treat him like a football god, he is still just a man. He was dealing with serious personal struggles. Remember, when he scored that incredible hat trick against Algeria, he dedicated those goals to his father. Was simple. I love you. We eventually learned he was going through a highly sensitive family crisis. That is why Jorge and Celia could not travel to support him. They could not stand there cheering in the stadium suites with the rest of the family, the way they always had done back in 2022. And we completely forgot about that struggle. His pain was completely overlooked. All we can do now is show some deep gratitude, offer our deepest respect, and send him our sincerest thoughts. We want to send our heartfelt condolences to his family during this incredibly rough patch. There is not much else to say. Thank you for watching. I will leave it at that. If anything else breaks, I will update you all and put up a quick post later today. A live stream tonight is highly unlikely, but I will make sure to confirm everything on my social media pages. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Let us close today by reflecting on this powerful, unforgettable image of them together. We owe a massive thank you to Jorge Messi for everything he gave to the world of football. What they accomplished together was absolute magic. May your legacy live on forever, Jorge. Our deepest condolences go out to Leo and the entire Messi family. After all the endless joy this man has brought us over the years, it is our turn to stand by his side and offer our full support. Thank you, and I will leave you with this image.